know something? I heard a lot of remarks that were being made about me in my absence. I was in New York on business.
I'm glad you're in New York on business because everything
You
was...
said some things that were totally untrue.
All I'm going to say is everything I said was the truth, and everybody was happy.
By the way, you know who was asking about you in New York?
I would have no idea. Who?
Nobody. Hi, everybody. Away we go with another edition of our wrestling show. And what do we got on the agenda?
Well, today's the biggest match I've known for some time. You know, Mucka Singh against Davey Boy Smith. The winner to meet Don Morocco next week. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm looking for a big explosive. But also next week, King Harley Race is here too. So we've got a tremendous lineup. 6 or 7 big matches, and I'm looking forward to the whole hour, even if I have to do the play-by-play with Ed Whalen.
Fasten your seatbelts. We'll be set to go in just a moment. We are going to have to eyeball this one. Can you believe it? Johnny Smith, how low can you go in the opening bout on a card? Johnny Smith, the British bruiser, returning from the injury that was accorded him in a chain match with a Dynamite Kid, obviously is annoyed about being on the opener. He's in at 230 out of Manchester against Kim Shaw, the 240-pounder from Hamilton.
Well, to inform you, I don't think he was away on injuries. I think he was holidaying in Australia, the West Indies, France, Paris, and he's looking forward to come back.
Oh, sure.
And he's looking forward to the Dynamite Kid to get even.
Yeah, sure. Well, all right. We know he was injured. But I want to talk about him being in the opening bout on a card. That's where you put the preliminary boys.
Well, of course, you know, he got robbed of the match with Dynamite Kid. The referee gave him a fast count. He has to work his way back up. It's like anybody in professional sports. If you're out for 2 or 3 weeks, you got to come back. You got to prove yourself. And I'm sure Johnny Smith will prove himself today, Mr. Edwell. And by the way, nice to see you back.
Yes, sure it is. The epitome of sincerity there is expressed by Bulldog Brown. I never did tell you this is one fall with a 15-minute time limit, and that Jürgen Herman is the referee. Johnny Smith certainly in a foul mood before the match. Big elbow caught him high on the chest, and Smith goes to work. The Weasel is his usual bananas self. I can't believe him. Apoplexy. That's his middle name. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man, what a slam. And Smith is going to work. Gives him a shot to the midsection. The British bruiser, Johnny Smith. I want to see him one of these days fight his brother.
Well, I don't think I like to see that, because I tell you what, brother or no brother, I think Johnny Smith is much more superior and much more
in Davey Boy?
Yes, Davey Boy, and he's got a lot more experience.
Watch this. Here he goes with a power slam. Oh, mamma mia, did he wallop him there? And Smith showing power, I've got to admit it.
Yeah, and you know, Ed, like I said, it's nice to see you back. And we had tremendous trips, you know, throughout the provinces and everywhere we went. And I tell you, the wrestling has been the hot item all over the area. You know, we're going to go to Kelowna, Vernon, Kamloops, Quesnel, Williams Lake, Prince George, Prince Rupert, Terrace, Kitimat, Smithers, and Vancouver, and Victoria.
Beginning to sound like a train conductor.
And then we're going to Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, and Yellowknife, and Hay River. And I just can't wait. And I hear through the grapevine that you and Jim Davis is making a trip with me.
I hope not. I hope not. Not with you, anyhow. Look at that shot to the midsection, and Johnny Smith is really working. Johnny Smith going to work on his man. He's going to pull him over the top. deposits him up on the
I
rope.
want you to watch this. I want them to get a close-up of this because this is what you call a suplex. Now you watch what Johnny Smith does. And you see, he's going to heave him way up in the air about 20 feet, and down he goes.
Oh! He's got him. Nothing to it.
I'll tell you what, Ed, it was a brutal match, and I'll tell you, Kim Shaw was never in it. I really don't know if he had an injury from an early match or not, but Johnny Smith just looked great.
Well, you're back.
I'm back, and you know what? I'm back with a bang. Sure, Mr. Brown is very, very pleased to see me back.
Yes, he is very pleased.
I'm back in Calgary. First match, a win in under 5 minutes. Can't be bad, Ed.
You're looking pretty strong for a guy who was badly injured by Dynamite.
Badly injured by Dynamite. I'll tell you one thing, Dynamite Kid. You couldn't injure me with a sledgehammer if you wanted to, boy. You heard the Bruise was back in town. You decided to retire. You say you got a bad shoulder, a bad back. I don't want to hear it. It's just a load of rubbish. It's a load of garbage. It's a load of lies. You heard the Bruise was back in town. You got a yellow streak at your back, Dynamite. You climb in the ring one more time and the British Bruise is going to bust you up. He's going to retire you for sure. You think you won the Battle of Britain? You haven't won anything. You step back in the ring with the British Bruiser and I'm going to bust you up from here to eternity, boy. From here to eternity.
I don't think Dynamite will be worried.
Dynamite nothing.
Dynamite
nothing. Johnny acts better than that.
All right. He's getting to be very articulate, this
He's
guy.
got a yellow streak down his back, Ed.
He's got a yellow streak.
A big yellow streak right down the middle of his back.
That.
Well, I've seen it. He says he's injured. He's retired. I busted him up so bad at that chain match. So many injuries. He retired, and he heard the Bruise was back in town, and he's running scared. Keep running, Dynamite. You can't hide.
You busted him up so bad that he was injured for 4 weeks. Johnny Smith was injured. Okay, let's watch Chris Benoit. Chris snapped that on there with authority.
Are you going to make the trip when and if I wrestle Chris Benoit? I want to really show you and Jim Davis what I'm going to do when the day comes that I meet Benoit.
I'll think about it. Yeah, I think I'd like to be there.
I'd like you and Jim
I'd
Davis
like
to
to.
be at ringside.
I'll bring the body bag for you. Jim Davies says he'll bring the stretcher. Okay, here's Benoit mid-ring. Look at him go to work. He is fighting with a vengeance right here, right now. Of course, Benoit has taken an awful lot of abuse from somebody not too far away from me. So he's taking it out on Rogers. He's got the leg lock, got him solidly tied up. The third man in the ring is the referee of the year in this territory, Wayne Hart.
He just pulled Goldie up by the hair in front of the referee and punched him with a closed fist. And referee Wayne Hart, your top referee of the year, you say, just let him get away with it and didn't even break the hole. This is what I just learned about.
I like that. I like it. Step over toe hold being applied by Benoit now. Boy, he's got Rogers in some trouble.
Sumahara's waiting for him, too.
Sumahara is waiting, no question. Benoit against Goldie Rogers. This is a one-fall affair. 15-minute time limit. Chris Benoit checking in at 218 from Edmonton. Rogers 5 pounds heavier out of Hollywood, California. And I think that probably was all a stickum on his hair that accounted for the 5 pounds.
You know, Ed Whelan, there's a lot of things that maybe me and you don't disagree on. But I got to think that coming up, you know, next week, you know, you got the champion, Morocco. You know he's going to meet either Muckin Singh or Davey Boy Smith. But then do you realize that you got King Harley Race here? And then do you realize this? That you got the fabulous, the one and only Eddie Watts coming here next week. So what great talent the promoters are bringing in to this region.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a top Canadian fighter, Eddie Watts, out of Winnipeg. I get good reports on him. And certainly we know Harley Race very well. He has been a king, 7-time world champion, 1-time North American heavyweight champion. He won that title right smack in this ring. the latter title. We saw him many times at the Calgary Stampede defend the world belt in the days, too, when Dory Funk was the force.
I certainly was his partner. We're the North American Tag Team Champions out of the Midwest. Harley Race, I know him personally. I know he's coming here for a reason. He's just not coming here to look at the talent. He's coming here to watch that main event next week here. I can guarantee you that.
Okay. Benoit going to work on the left wheel of Goldie Rogers. Here comes the slam. Boy, he slapped that in there. He's looking very strong.
5 minutes gone.
We're at the 5-minute mark, and you may have heard in the background the familiar tones of Tommy Carr. Tommy, who's been at this post for 41 years now, is back from Las Vegas, counting his money, and here he is, the winner, Tommy Carr.
Let's get back to the match for a minute. I'm sure, I don't know, I'll tell you the truth, there's sure a lot of hatred around the wrestling world, especially towards me, what I did with Chris Benoit. I'm sure on your travels throughout the United States and Canada, I'm sure you heard a lot about it too. What was your feeling?
People were just with you, taking that chair and attacking Benoit, and you're trying to make the excuse it was an accident. People are laughing at you, Bulldog. They're laughing.
Why would they be laughing?
You said it was an accident. How can it be an accident when you whacked him right across the back?
It'll all come out in the ring someday.
Oh, sure. All of a sudden, here comes the rally. Rogers delivering the big elbow, and down goes Benoit.
I'll guarantee you that the British Bulldogs and Chris Benoit will pay for everything they've done to me. It may take
Just a minute. You're an announcer. You're forgetting.
Yes. It may take a month, 2 months, 3 months, but down the line, what goes around comes back, Kidwell. And I don't know if you know that term, but I'm guaranteeing
Goes around, comes around.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Well, you were close. Benoit jams him into that corner. Benoit a little shaken up, but coming back with a rally, turns in the corner. He's caught there. Can he do a turnaround? Yes, he can. Great action here. Benoit on the brink of difficulty. Beautiful clothesline. Beautiful.
Tremendous. And I'll tell you what, in BC, him and the British Bulldogs will pay the price.
Oh! 1, 2, I thought he might have him. We've always seen Goldie Rogers as being a tough competitor. But the things Benoit's doing to his body right now, well, it's incredible. Now he's going to fly. We are going air freight. Here's that headbutt. High on the chest, the cover, 2, 3. It's all over. Very impressive win there by Chris Benoit.
Bucka, there's just one thing I need to ask you. Of course, you know, all the people around the country say, oh, Bucka Singh is finished. He's not going to win the title again. But let me remind you, I heard a lot of balloons will break later on tonight, and I'm sure as I'm standing here, I know down deep that you're going to beat Davey Boy Smith and go on to meet Morocco next week.
You know something, Bulldog? Nobody thought I was going to win the belt the first 3 times I won it either. 3-time North American champion. I'm tired of proving myself. I'm the International Tag Team Champion. I'm the guy taking responsibility for chasing Dynamite Kid out of the wrestling business. He's coming out here. He's talking about retiring. I think he's afraid to get back in the ring with us. He's afraid to get back in the ring. Now you know something, Bulldog? Superstars are lining up to come into Calgary Stampede Wrestling. The King Harley Race. Don Morocco's coming back with my belt that I deserve. Davey Boy Smith, myself, 3 or 4 top guys all wrestling around the world, all rated in the top 10 around the world. Well, Davey Boy Smith, I'm going to tell you something. You see this balloon, Davey Boy Smith? It kind of reminds me of you, all pumped up. Big arms, big ego, big head, just like you got. But you know something? When you crawl in the ring with me tonight, I'm out to prove to myself or something. You may be in the big the fantastic condition, but all it takes for you is one mistake, one karachi crunch in your history, Davey boy.
What can I tell you? The champ spoke, and we'll see him later on after he wins the championship.
Also in that balloon, the hot air has more brains than Davey Boy Smith got between his ears, so get ready for a beating, Smith.
We'll be right back after this break.
We're going to take a look right now at the Cuban Assassin and Ron Ritchie. Ritchie, of course, hailing from Winnipeg at 245 and coming in at 235 out of Havana, the Cuban Assassin. The rules are being explained. You think that the Cuban will understand? I doubt it. But the Cuban goes straight to the attack, and he misses. Runs into trouble on the far side. Where has he been? He's been missing for a long time.
Yeah, he's been in South Africa, you know, with Jerry Morrow, and they had a very, very successful trip. And one of the most successful trips of any team from his country. They went right through undefeated, and he's back here talking to him earlier in the evening. He was so excited to be back here, so excited to be wrestling Ron Ritchie, because he wants to go out and prove to the people that he's going to be the top contender.
Well, isn't that amazing? I had heard he had gone to visit a zoo, and the zookeepers wouldn't let him out. I guess I got the wrong information. Wound up in a cage. Anyway, the Cuban, no question, Ritchie used the air. Of course, if you have seen the Cuban Assassin in the past, you will know that he is a game competitor. You'll know that he's very rough and tough, and you will know that he invariably uses a foreign object.
Well, you know, I'll tell you the truth. I never saw him using a foreign object. And I'll tell you one thing, though. I saw him and Jerry Morrow beat up the British Bulldogs, and I saw him beat up Biff Wellington and Chris Benoit.
I thought the opposite was true, and that's why they left the territory. However, history can get twisted by the likes of Bulldog Bob Brown.
You know, talking to Davey Boy Smith earlier, you know, in an interview, he said he wasn't interested in talking to me. He'd sooner have you out there. So I said, what are you getting so excited about, Davey Boy? He was sweating and stuff like that. I said, something's bothering you, isn't it? Maka Singh is going to beat you tonight. Isn't that right? He almost said yes. He forgot himself.
I doubt that. I doubt that he's nervous. How about Maka Singh? That's a very big bout. The winner, of course, gets a shot at Don Morocco, the North American heavyweight champion. Take a look now. They're at long range. Cuban Assassin, game and veteran competitor. Ron Ritchie, former People's Champion, still a very popular figure. Still a noted contender for the heavyweight crown. I'm amazed to find him down in the number 7 contending slot.
Well, it really, really, really surprises me, too, because I tell you, although he's had some trouble in the past, but Ron Ritchie has really looked good to me. Not great, but, you know, in between, he's looked good in some matches and looked bad in some matches. And this match here, if he goes on to win, this is a big match for Ron Ritchie. He goes on and beats the Cuban Assassin, and I'll guarantee he'll move up the ladder. But then again, where you see the Cuban Assassin, you got to look out for Jerry Morrow.
That's true. I didn't see him in the dressing room. He's not here, is he?
We don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Okay, I didn't see him. Crowd says, let's give him a little bang, and that's precisely what happens to the Cuban.
Anytime, you know, you look at the Cuban Assassin, he amazes me. Sometimes he's called the 8th wonder of the world. I can see why. You know,
He is?
Yeah, you know, you look at him, and he's done everything. He's held every major title. You know, not too long ago, out in the Maritimes, matter of fact, Moncton, New Brunswick, I saw him and Jerry Morrow in a great match. Do you know that they went an hour draw? It was one of the greatest matches I've ever saw. And I'll tell you, too, when the hour was up, either Jerry Morrow or the Cuban Assassin was sweating. He's a great competitor, and he likes to set up great competitors like Ron Ritchie. He'll wait to the very last moment to make his move at. He's a great, great individual, and he talks very highly of you, too.
He does, huh?
He does.
I don't understand the language he speaks, so I appreciate that. Down in the depths of my heart. I know you speak the truth. I know that. Well, the Cuban assassin against Ron Ritchie. We've just gone past the 5-minute mark. This is a one-fall affair, and it's listed for a 20-minute time limit.
People are screaming and yelling when the Cuban assassin was outside. I really don't know why he hasn't done anything.
Gets in a couple of shots off the ropes now. Little turnaround, and over the top he goes. Beautiful drop kick at close range. He slams it in there again. Whoops, he's on the ropes. Close call. You know, you look at a man like Ritchie, 245, and you look at him delivering those drop kicks. He's pretty awesome.
Tell me his mother and dad's in the audience again tonight.
They are. The Ritchies are here. The Ritchie family. Well, that's nice.
Wonderful letter last weekend.
You got a wonderful letter?
Yeah, from Newfoundland. Watches me and you on television. Say it's the greatest thing they've ever had in Newfoundland. He says, Bob Brown and Ed Whalen are the best commentators in the world. We call them as we see them. And I said, listen, your program over here in Newfoundland is just great. Keep up the good work.
Very nice. Very nice. In all seriousness, her
name was KC.
Really? I'll tell you, though, we get an awful lot of mail out of the Maritimes. An awful lot of mail out of Newfoundland, and we're delighted that the fans out there enjoy the proceedings.
Also, one more thing, you know, we're going to hit the magazine. Front cover, Ed Whalen, Bulldog Bob Brown on Wrestling World. Coming out later this month.
Well, what a thrill for me.
I'll tell you what
a thrill for me.
I was with you.
You have, yeah?
That's right.
What a thrill for me, being partnered with Bob Brown. Here's Stu Hart at ringside. I never thought I'd see this day, Stuart.
This is, I gotta watch this, the Beast here and see whether he's picked up any new tricks over in Africa.
Well, we're having an eyeballing session right here. There's the cover, too.
Asked him about all the mail he got on me when I beat up Chris Benoit. Asked him, he'll tell you about it.
Well, piles of letters.
You should be so lucky to wish you could beat up Chris Benoit.
There was no beat-up that I saw. It was a smack with a chair, and that was it. Okay, let's concentrate on this match rather than the alleged prowess of a certain announcer here. That's the bear hole being slapped on, the bear hug being slapped on by the Cuban assassin. He's got good power. He's always exhibited that. Good staying power. I wouldn't say he was homely, but Cuban, when he was a kid, they used to put a pork chop around his neck so the dogs would play with him. Otherwise, he ran away. Did you know that?
That's not nice, Ed.
That's not No, that's not nice. Well, oh dear, I'm supposed to be a nice guy. I forgot that for a moment. There goes Ritchie. Boy, did he get flung out of there. We're moving toward the 10-minute mark. You are watching action that involves the Cuban assassin, and Ron Ritchie. A bout that is slated for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
Hey, just a minute. I want you to ask Stu Hart one thing. I want you to ask Stu Hart, what does he think the outcome of the match will be when Brown meets Benoit? I want his truthful answer, and he better tell you the truth.
I guess he's going to quit as an announcer, is he? He keeps yapping
I think
about
he will.
it.
I'd like to have a side bet on that.
Where would your money go?
Lucky to be one side of Benoit.
Oh, my, what a dreadful thing that you just said, Stu Hart.
Maybe if you got your weapons with you and you're armed to the teeth with everything under the sun, you might have a chance with Benoit. But fight him man to man, hold for hold. I remember you were a bit salty when you were around here 10 years ago, but don't forget this is a young, ambitious kid, and he'll hang a good one on you.
I'd love to see that.
Time will only tell.
I'd love to see that. Hang a good one on you. Here's Ritchie coming back with a rally. Hammer and Tog going after the Cuban. Belting him, drives him across. Look out, Nelly. Down he goes. Ritchie, the very explosive. What a beggar. Going to work now. He doesn't want to take any more of this nonsense. He is using the Cuban as a punching bag into the opposite corner over the top. Ritchie's going to fly. Here comes the 245-pound bird. He's got a foreign object. He had knuckle dusters. And the referee saw it.
Well, I don't see. I thought he hit him with the fist coming off the top rope.
He had knuckle dusters. Open up your eyes.
I tell you what, that red card shouldn't have been pulled out. Ron Ritchie just got beat. That's all there was to it.
Knuckle dusters are what did it. And the referee had a good look at the proceedings. The winner is Ron Ritchie. We're going to have a look now at Sumahara, great wrestler from Sapporo, Japan, noted martial arts expert, 220 pounds, against the 218-pound Biff Wellington. I was away in New York last week. Did Hara make his debut?
He sure did in great fashion. I think he won under 5 minutes.
Well, we'll see what happens here. He's got a very worthy adversary.
This is what you find out about these guys, Ed. That guy came in here from Sapporo, Japan. He showed very exciting last week. But now, hey, now's the time to show it. You're against Biff Wellington. And you know what Biff Wellington's capable of doing? One of the finest wrestlers in the country today.
Can't argue in the early going. Watch it now. Got a track beat. Gave him the hip toss, and out goes Sumahara.
That's the way they teach them in Japan. When you get in trouble, you get out. And Ed, you know that outfit that he came in on. My, you would look good with it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mask and all, thank you.
You and Stu Hart both.
Yeah. Well, Sumahara is taking his constitutional right now. Sapporo, Japan. Biff Wellington. Young man who's made great strides in this territory. Could wrestle any territory now. And I saw him here in his first fight as a raw rookie. Like a cat on a hot tin roof. He was plenty nervous in the service. And look where he has climbed.
Who are you talking about?
Biff.
Oh, Biff has always been good. Biff's been an outstanding athlete.
I saw him here as a raw rookie. You weren't here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Pay attention.
Okay.
Good heavens. Second man at Sumahara's corner is Johnny Smith. I was hoping that maybe we had a Japanese hero coming in here. However, given that Smith is in his corner, somehow I doubt that. Nice move. Hart, you've always had a great relationship with Japan. You've brought in a lot of great wrestlers.
We've had some great wrestlers from Japan. I think this hero, Hasu, was he'd have to be one of the best young wrestlers in the industry right now.
Absolutely. Came here, of course, in the mask. And Hirohashi went on to become an outstanding individual. I'd love to see him back. Where's he working now?
He's in Japan, and I understand he and my son Owen had some of the greatest matches I've ever seen over in Japan, and they were both voted the two outstanding. Owen was voted the most outstanding foreign wrestler in Japan at that time, and Hasu was the outstanding Japanese wrestler.
Two great wrestlers.
Did you say Owen Hart outstanding?
That's correct. What are you laughing at?
Outstanding.
He's a great wrestler. I'll tell you who I equate him with, Edouard Carpentier. He has the same kind of moves.
A lot of moves the same as Carpentier had.
He was a great wrestler. Okay, let's concentrate here. Biff Wellington taking a look at Sumo Hara, but he runs into a leg. Hara obviously tough, but Wellington's not backing up. Wellington going after him, slaps the headlock on him, and Wellington is taking no nonsense.
You know, I'm going to tell you a little story. They all talk about outstanding. Do you know, I've never saw an outstanding Hart wrestle in my life, and I've been in professional wrestling for 20 years, and I've never saw an outstanding Hart in the ring. The only time they're outstanding is when they had the biased referees. And you know it, Stu, just as well as I know, that your kids got where they are today is because of you. If they...
Run you out of town.
Who?
The Stomper.
Yeah, the Stomper ran him out, but I'll tell you, I've seen Bret Hart, I've seen Keith, I've seen Bruce, I've seen Owen, I've seen a lot of outstanding wrestlers out of the Hart family. And you, Mr. Bulldog?
They weren't all so great because they never met me.
No.
In Winnipeg when you were still in diapers. Yes. Where were you when I was wrestling in Winnipeg?
I was hobby training.
Well, we're past the 5-minute mark. You're in training diapers, right. Okay, in the middle of the ring, Wellington up top. Sumo Hara. That's a terrible insult for Stu Hart. Got some great sons, great wrestlers. Made a lot of contributions to wrestling. And of course, Bret and Owen have gone on, in particular, to worldwide fame. The other boys electing to stay home in their own territory. Wellington up top.
What do you call world fame? Well, this is
world famous. Be quiet. Biff Wellington against Sumo Hara. Wellington coming in 2 pounds lighter than Hara. And we've got half a dozen minutes. One fall, 20-minute time limit. He's got some moves, this Hara. I don't know about his friends. Johnny Smith standing in his corner. But he's certainly got some moves. And he's giving Wellington a test. But conversely, Mr. Wellington is not exactly lying down on him, although that may be the situation at the moment. I assure you it's only momentary. He's choking. He's choking.
You know what he's doing to Biff Wellington? He's mauling him. And I tell you, when I say mauling, he's punishing him with holds. Mauling, right? You know, he's got him right down in the mat where he wants him.
Very excited, aren't you?
I'm excited. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about all the competition coming in here. Hey, listen, I clap my hands when you see Morocco coming in here. You see Harley Race. You know what? You know why they're here? Stu Hart is finally opening up his wallet. Something that he hasn't been doing for the last 5 or 6 years.
That is a pretty good combination. The King, Harley, and Don Morocco.
Oh,
They're both pretty
the high-flying Eddie Watts, too.
Well, okay, Eddie Watts coming in as well. Got lots of competition going here.
But I'm the best thing that happened to his show.
Oh, I'm sure. Wellington. Boy, this kid can move. This kid can move. Somahara showing a lot of the benefits of his martial arts training. Takes his man down, but again he's choking. Going to be a yellow card for Somahara.
One yellow card.
He's working so hard that his makeup is beginning to dribble. Terrible.
Hard for him to understand the language by the referee. Of course, you know, he doesn't know what a yellow card is. A yellow card in Japan is a traffic sign telling you to slow down. There's construction ahead.
Maybe in Japan they show a white card, do they?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Take on young Benoit.
Anytime at all. I hope it's soon because I want to show the wrestling world just what Bulldog Bob Brown's capable of doing. And you know what I'm going to do to him, Stuart. It's going to be your down doing. It's going to be your fault. I'm going to injure the brat.
Oh, sure you are. Oh, man, did he get airborne? Beautifully done. Boy, did he fly. Did you see Wellington come off those ropes? Ran into trouble there. But, oh, he's flying. Has he got him? No, he has not.
See those kicks? Wow.
I was talking to Wellington in the dressing room, wondering about his hip. There's a 2 count. He operated for a good 6 weeks with a very bad hip, but he says he's in A1 condition now. He didn't want to use it as an excuse.
Oh, him and Benoit's always got excuses about this.
He didn't want to use it as an excuse. Oh, my. If he had landed, there was trouble. Somahara covers. It's a 1. It's a 2. It's a close call.
The referee would have been on the ball. It would have been a 3 count.
No. Good move. It's time, and that is to be at ringside announcing when Benoit takes you on. I want to be there.
I hope
I
you
want to describe it. I hope it's...
Just a minute. After I beat him, are you going to come up and shake
No,
my hand?
we won't talk about that because I doubt your ability. I think you've gotten soft as an announcer. I'm looking at your belly here. You don't look very good.
Hard as a rock.
Sure it is. Wellington coming back. There's a 1. There's a 2. Close call. Boy, this Wellington has developed in quite a fighter. Got the sleeper. Can he make it stick? Somahara trying to drive him to the corner. He does. That's the way to get out of it. One, two, three. He got him.
What a tremendous hole. My goodness, that was a quick back suplex. My goodness, Dad. You know, it's amazing that this Wellington is getting up. What a fast individual finishing hole. I'm amazed.
Well, Somahara has difficulty with the language, but Johnny Smith
He had
not
no
quite as
difficulty
much.
with the language of wrestling, did he, Mr. Whalen? In the 4 corners in the wrestling ring, he had no difficulty. He had no language barrier there. He beat Biff Wilson from pillar to post. He butchered him right in front of these peasants, morons in Calgary. He butchered Biff Wellington. Last week was his debut week. He put a nice victory under his belt. Tonight, another night, he beat Biff Wellington. He's already climbing that middleweight ladder. He's going to go all the way to the top, and he's going to take on Chris Benoit, and he's going to finish that midget off. He's going to take the belt away from him.
How come he's become friends with you? I find that strange.
He likes hanging around nice company, Mr. Whalen.
Oh,
That's
I
why.
see.
Yeah.
I see.
And Dynamite Kid, give me one more chance. Put that chain around your wrist and climb back on with the British Bruiser. If you don't, everyone's going to know that you are a yellow coward and you've retired because the Bruiser is back in town. One more chance, one more time. Come and get me, Dynamite.
All right, here's Bulldog Bob Brown with Chris Benoit.
Well, one more time, not taking anything away from Goldie Rogers. Another soft match for you. I wonder when you're going to get into the real competition and put that belt on the line so somebody get a chance to beat you, like Sumahara maybe?
Bob Brown, I've successfully defended the belt since I've had it in this territory against every top junior heavyweight in this territory. Sumo Hara, I've seen the damage that you could do before. Right now, I'm in 110% condition. I'm ready for whatever you got.
Well, I certainly hope, and later on this month, I certainly hope that you're in good shape, because a lot of surprises are going to happen to you, Benoit. And I'll tell you, right down the road into British Columbia, something's going to drastic happen to you. And I'll tell you, it's going to be the promotion's fault. And you know what I'm talking about. Every time I look at you, I have to laugh. And furthermore, if I had a dog with a face like yours, I'd shave his rear and make him walk backwards.
Bob Brown, you talk about surprises. The only surprise that's going to be in store for you for the next month is when you step in the ring and put your chunks on. When you step in the ring with myself and I drop you 1, 2, 3.
Time will only tell, Mr. Benoit. We'll be right back.
And Steve Blackman, who used to be a nice guy, against the combination of the Power twins, David Powers, Larry Powers, New York, New York. 275 apiece. Singh at 320, Blackman at 270. So you've got 550 in the ring against a combination that's 590, thanks mainly to that big tub of lard, Vulcan Singh.
Tub of lard?
He's a little overweight, don't you think?
Let me remind you something. One of the great American amateur wrestlers. Do you know that he only lost 2 amateur wrestling matches in college? Maybe it's hard to believe for you, Mr. Ed Whalen, but let me tell you, he was one tough individual.
Look at this! Well, the tough individual takes a shot to the chest.
Went into the University of Iowa and beat their 2 top contenders.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm being facetious, really. He is a fine athlete. I'm not sure about his personality, but as Gary Albright, not only was he an outstanding wrestler, he was an outstanding football player as well. So he's got the ability, no question about it. Nebraska?
Yeah, I believe Albright was from Nebraska. Wasn't he NCAA wrestling champion? I believe it's a super dreadnought heavyweight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's a good one.
Just like me. I was Mr. Everything when I was in college. I won everything.
That's what...
I won football, hockey, you name any sport.
Sure you
I
did.
won it all.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
Where were you when I was playing with the Edmonton Eskimos? I played against Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Where were you then?
Where was I? I was going to school, getting my education.
All right, let's quit this debate. Stu Hart and Bulldog Bob Brown with me at ringside. I'm beginning to feel surrounded. Meantime, we got a real hassle in here in the ring.
You know, it's a kind of tag teams. You know, I'm really shocked at the matchup. You know, Vocal Singh and Steve Blackman. Maybe they're getting together. Is there troubles in the ranks of the tag team champions? This is a kind of surprising to me to see these 2 tagged up. Then again, you look at the Power Twins. They got everything going for them. 6'3", 275 pounds apiece. But there's something missing on those 2, and I've never been able to put my finger on it. But if I was their size and know what I know now, Mr. Ed Whalen, I'll tell you, I'd be on top of the professional wrestling. You see, they got to be more vicious. They got to pull an eye out. They got to cheat
Stop
and
that.
go on to win.
Stop that. You're a terrible influence on the children of any nation listening into this show. Look at this. Miss. Ran into a clothesline. Lost his concentration.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up his. Don't listen to him, kids. Let me remind you something. What about professional football and professional hockey, which you do at its very, very best? What happens when guys try to get away with an offside? Is that cheating? What happens when they're offside in football and they
They're
get away
fouled.
with
The referees are very strict.
Yeah,
Very
but sometimes they miss them. They try to do
That's
it.
because of human error. They do not try to do it. It's a mistake. It's totally different from the cheating that you're talking about. Look at this. Which of the twins is that?
That's David in the ring now.
That's David in the ring. Okay. I don't know whether to believe you.
He hasn't got too much hair on top.
They both haven't got too much hair on top. That's Larry in the ring now. Now he makes the tag, and here comes David. David going after Blackman. This is a one-fall affair. There's a 30-minute time limit. Wayne Hart, the always capable referee. We're moving in on the 5-minute mark. We're seeing some pretty good action here. Pardon?
Murray School of Dancing.
Who came from the Arthur Murray School?
These New Yorkers here.
I think so. They're high steppers.
God, I like that little manager. He's always so exciting, and every week he comes in with these multi-million-dollar outfits.
$multi-million?
I'll tell you the truth, he told me
Cheesecloth.
$650.
Cheesecloth. Give me a break. Bunkin Singh going to work against David.
That's Larry.
Going to work against Larry. I haven't figured out those two yet. Boy, they are identical. It's like you're looking in a mirror. The Power Twins, Larry and David, New York City, against Vulcan Singh and Steve Blackman. Singh from Billings, Montana. Blackman of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. One fall, 30-minute time limit. We're moving towards the 10-minute mark. If I were to score it on points thus far, I think I'd have to give the edge maybe to Vulcan Singh.
Yeah, they've been on the offensive, you know. They really got their thing together. You know, Blackman and Vocal Singh, you'd think they've been tagged up for years, but, you know, this is the first time that I know of, but they got their stuff down. The Power Twins, you know, will just have to get a little bit more meaner. You know, to be a professional wrestler, you got to be mean. You know, you can't stand out here and get beat up all the time. You got to fight back. You got to fight fire with fire. Just the way I did it all my wrestling career. You got to go in there and you got to get the job done.
Very emotional, aren't you? You're going to pop a blood vessel here. Look at that great big elbow cover, too. That's all.
There's a lot of things happening in professional wrestling today. I hear Stu Hart is going to book me in Vancouver, British Columbia. He's going to send me to Victoria, Smithers, Kitimat, Terrace.
We've been through that all right.
Yeah, but
We've been through that. You're excited.
In case anybody
You're
missed
excited.
it, I'm excited about BC. And then Alberta, you
I
know.
don't know if they're excited about you.
Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie,
I know.
Yellowknife, and Hay River.
Yellowknife.
Thank you, Stu Hart.
That'll be good for you.
Midnight baseball up in Yellowknife and a few years back.
They play midnight golf up there, too.
Maybe
Yeah.
you'll give me Chris Benoit up there all the way around so I can beat him up.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's concentrate on this match. I'll tell you, the Steve Blackman's body is showing the signs of wear and tear. Got slap marks all across his front. There's a 2 count. He tries to pin Larry.
So last week you weren't here, Ed, but I had a chance of interviewing Steve Blackman. I asked his outlook at professional wrestling. He said, you know, Bulldog, he said, I should have taken your advice a year and a half ago. Good guys finish last. He says, I joined the Karate Vice, and he says, I'm on top of the wrestling field now, and I've been winning all my big matches. So something has changed in changed for the best.
Well, I might debate that, but look at that. He's got him if he wants him, and he may rue the day he does not put him away. Because he had him. But Vulcan Singh wanting to add a little bit to the punishment.
To me, it's so silly. You know, Vulcan Singh had a chance to beat the guy. Take the thing at 150. It's a big victory for them. Hey, don't play games when you come into professional wrestling because everything will backfire on you.
Well, there's a power slam on a power twin. The tag, Blackman comes into the squared circle. Boy, he has got mange. No question.
You know that the Blackman's well built, you know. I like to see him wrestle without those pants on, you know. He looks like he's got tremendous pair of legs on him. I don't understand why he don't want to show them, because I think he's in tremendous shape, and he should wrestle without. What do you think?
Maybe he's wearing stilts.
I don't know.
Well, gotta be a reason. Power twins going after Blackman. Tag was made. The tag was made, and David is trapped in the ring. Cover 1, 2, not quite. Close range, the clothesline. Certainly look forward to next week. King Harley Race and
What'd you say?
Don Morocco. I look forward to next week.
Well, I think if Stu Hart ever put a card together when he got a King Harley Race and Morocco on the same card, and then the high-flying Eddie Watson Winnipeg. Hey, like I said earlier in the show, Stu Hart is finally opening up his wallet.
You're beginning to repeat yourself.
I'm sorry, Ed.
Yeah,
but
all
it
right.
gets me so excited.
Get a new script.
When I see that great talent coming in here, and you know what? It's good for me and you because we're doing the play-by-play of it, and we like to see big names.
Well, yes, it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting a little later in the show to see Muckin Singh against Davey Boy Smith with the winner. Look out for this. One of the twins driven straight into that post. Blackman's choking him now. Yellow card being shown to Steve Blackman. Never thought I'd see the day, but there's the yellow card for the man. Pulls him over to Bridges nicely, but the twin worked his way out. That's David. Harry?
Yeah.
Larry.
Can't tell them apart. They're easy for me.
Well, that's Larry. I'm going to keep track. Vulcan Singh giving him the pitch, headbutt.
Howard Twins have taken a tremendous amount of punishment. I tell you what, he better get over there and tag his brother because I'll tell you, this match could be over.
He's got to get over there. Larry has taken a pounding.
Little guy over there, eh? Stu Hart likes him.
Stu Hart likes the manager. Find that hard to believe. Larry goes down. Here comes Blackman. He gonna fly? You betcha. Uh-oh. Now, can he make the tag? Here comes David. Into the ring now. It's David. Gets Blackman. Goes into Creed. Vulcan Singh. A little knockin'. Good job here by David Powers.
He's got to keep going, and he's got to keep punishing now. He's got an opportunity to beat Blackman. Now move right in and take advantage of it. Because don't give Blackman 30 seconds because he'll beat you.
That's stretch. You don't want to give him time. He's got good strength here. David breaks him, covers him 1, 2, and again Vulcan breaks it up. Larry comes over to greet him, bangs at him in the corner. What's going here? Double whammy, double whammy.
Now move right in there. See, they're stalling, you see. Get with us, you know. They got him on the run now. Take advantage of it.
Here they go with Blackman. Double elbow, down goes Blackman.
They're letting him rest. You see, Ed? They're letting him rest. They should take it right to the guy.
Little hesitation, all right. Ducked under. Oh, no. Boy, he's got quick feet. Quick feet.
They don't call him the best karate in Philadelphia for nothing.
Blackman goes after him. Blackman, pardon.
The skills that this Blackman has, I can see why he needs to resort to the foul tactics.
You wonder, don't you? Because he's got a whole arsenal of talent. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Vulcan Singh.
Stu Hart wanted to know why does he have to go to fall tactics. He's not doing nothing that Stu Hart didn't do all his life. This was a big win for Blackman and Vulcan Singh. This was a big one. But you know what? I blame the Power Twins because they had Blackman on the run and they didn't take advantage of it.
I'm afraid you're quite right. You're quite right. Okay, let's get up to the ring and Jim Davies.
Ron Ritchie, everybody remembers your days as the people's champion. They know that you don't like royalty. They know that you believe in the common man, and that's why it's got to be a big treat for you next week to have a chance to dethrone King Harley Race.
Well, Jim Davies, this is a golden opportunity for Ron Ritchie. Next week, I'm going to face a legend, a 7-time world champion, the original king of wrestling, Harley Race. You know, and Harley Race and I are no strangers to each other. And I'll tell you, next week I'm going to come out Jim Davies, because it's going to be a feather in my cap if I can dethrone this man, because there's going to be promoters all around the country watching this. There's going to be reporters from all around the world tuning into this, and by defeating Harley Race, this will give me instant recognition. It'll put me on top of the mountain, and on top of the mountain is where I want to be. So I'm going to be in here giving 110%, giving everything I got, and you can bet, Jim Davies, I'm going to come out with my hand in the air.
Okay, you obviously have no fear of this man, but King Harley Race, a very impressive wrestler.
A very impressive wrestler, a 7-time world champion. So like I say, I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The promoters around the country, I like to thank Stu Hart for putting this one together. The press will be here. It'll put me on top of the mountain.
Okay, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing that bout. Ron Ritchie. We'll be right back with more wrestling action right after this.
You're looking at Lethal Larry Cameron and Flying Brian Pillman. This is a one-fall affair. There's a 45-minute time limit. Good toss by Pillman. Catches him with a mule kick, goes in, gives him a couple of shots in the early going, and we're nearing the 5-minute mark. It was all Lethal Larry, but now Pillman coming back with a vengeance. There's a weight differential here. Cameron at 265. And Pillman about 40 pounds less.
You know, Ed, watching this match, I thought I would see a lot more offense on both sides. You know, they're taking very each other very lightly, I think. And I tell you, and they're waiting for something to move in because they really haven't gone at it each other right now. If it was me, and if I was in Pillman's shoes, and if I had to go out and beat Lethal Larry Cameron, which you know he's undefeated, I would be all over him. But nobody's been over anybody.
Now that's very true. A very astute observation.
Thank you, Mr. Wheeler.
Off those ropes now. Larry isn't buying any. As mentioned by Bulldog, Larry is undefeated. Larry Cameron.
I really don't like about it. There's something about him being cocky and smart, Alex. Reminds me of a lot of Chris Benoit. And you know, there's something about him that I haven't figured out yet. What you want to know, Sonny? He needs to have a good beating. And maybe Larry Cameron's waiting for his opportunity and then really put one on him.
Why, he's nasty.
You bet a lot of tough boys like Kiniski and O'Connor and King Harley. How would you handle a kid like Pillman if you were in there?
Go right in there and take it right to him and just be as great as I've ever was, Stu-Hut. Go on and beat him. You know how I beat everybody.
Everybody?
Stick around. You're going to find...
Undefeated career?
Stick around. You'll find out how good I am when I meet Benoit.
You're a tough boy. Nobody's going to argue with you on that.
Thank you, Mr. Hart.
I doubt the undefeated career. Rocky Marciano, maybe. Bulldog Bob Brown, I don't think so. Well, right now, Lethal Larry is taking it to Pillman. Maybe he's taking that Bulldog advice. Out he goes. Lethal Larry.
Well, there's no question in my mind that Lethal Larry Cameron wants this match, and he wants it badly, even if he has to go out and injure Pillman. I'll tell you what, Pillman has taken a licking for the last 50 or 60 seconds, and I'll guarantee you he better come out of it quick, and don't let Lethal Larry Cameron get too much ahead of him.
Well, Cameron right now is pouring it on, but Pillman is far from done. Far from done as far as I am concerned. Watch him. Just watch him.
First of all, Ed, let me take this opportunity to tell you that you weren't here last week. I made an appearance in the ring on behalf of Lethal Larry Cameron when he was being interviewed by Jim Davis. And I explained it to the wrestling world that I thought justice wasn't done properly. I don't see no reason for the elimination match tonight, you understand, to meet the champion next week. Lethal Larry Cameron was undefeated. I blame a lot of this on Stu-Hart's promotion, that Larry Cameron should have been facing Morocco for the championship here next week. I think today he was cheated out of it. And this is what I told the wrestling fans last week when you...
Well, interesting, isn't it? Interesting, isn't it? You're such an expert, and yet the wrestling ratings have Larry Cameron third in line behind Morocco. Way down.
He's undefeated.
I don't care. I don't care what his record is.
Number two?
He's way down. Number 2 is Davey Boy Smith.
He got
Number 1 is Mukad Singh.
They got beat.
It's Lethal Larry Cameron, the one-man wrecking gang out of Chicago, in the ring against Flying Brian Pillman, Cincinnati, Ohio. Cameron at 265 with a 40-pound weight advantage. Did he ever throw Pillman? Oh, my power.
You know, just like a baby flying through the air. A newborn baby. That's how he threw Pillman.
Boy, did he flip him.
And getting to back who's 1 and 2 in line, that's fine. You know, later on tonight's program, we're going to find out that Davey Boy Smith
Larry Cameron
will be right down to the bottom.
Is number 3 in line for the heavyweight title as a challenger. That's all. Davey Boy's ahead of him. And our next match, you're going to see Davey Boy against Mukad Singh. Look at Pillman. Nice entry. Cross body block. Cover 2. Almost got him. Cameron getting a little cocky, maybe? I think so. Watch this now. I told you Pillman wasn't true.
Oh, I knew that. I know he's not true. He's coming back now. He's got Cameron on the move now. And I tell you what, he's got to stay right on top of him if he's going to beat him to be undefeated, you know. He's got to stay right on top of him right now.
Now let's see. Pillman giving him one great test. Here's the big splash, and it's a 1, it's a 2, that's off. starts up, and
10 minutes.
Lethal Larry, it's at the 10-minute mark now. This is one fall, 45-minute time limit. Jürgen Herman is the referee.
You know, the people are giving Larry Cameron a big ovation. I don't know what's going on here. The people are starting to cheer for him.
Well, what is going on here? The referee got knocked over. Referee got knocked over.
Referee declares no contest.
And as a result of him being roughed up, he's out of there.
I don't understand a no contest. The referee got in the way and got knocked down. It was his own fault. Now here comes smart Alec Benoit. Here comes Ritchie. Here comes Biff Wellington. Here comes Smith. Here comes Blackman. Here comes Goldie Rogers. What do we got now? A 9-man tag?
I think it's just about that, but they're trying to keep the two of them apart, and they managed to get together again in mid-ring.
Did you see who the ringleader was, though? Chris Benoit once again sticking his nose in where it don't belong.
You really don't like him. He is, without question, one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever known.
Did you ever meet his mother and father?
They are wonderful people. Wonderful people. Salt of the earth. And truly, they are saints. Saints. Canadian saints. Look at what's happening in the ring. They're still hammering away at each other. They're still unable to keep the two of them apart. Cameron and Pillman dying to get at each other, and now they do so. And despite the fact they've got 7 other guys in there, they just can't put a stop to it.
There should be disqualification for outside interference, and Benoit was the ringleader. I'll tell you, Cameron should be the winner of this match.
I don't buy your philosophy. No contest. Nobody's a winner. I don't understand this. I thought you could stand on your own. What is the weasel doing with you?
Well, first I want to say, welcome back, Mr. Ed from the Funny Farm. You know, I had no intention of pinning Brian Pillman tonight. I wanted to find out just what he was made of. I wanted to find out just what he can take. And that's all you morons see, that I had total control of the match at all times. But I tell you what, Brian Flying Pillman, as you see, you didn't do too much flying today. But next time, there'll be no bar, no host, anything goes. It's my type of match, Chicago style. Brian Pillman, they say you is from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I pronounced it Cincinnati, Ohio. You got me right, Cincinnati, Ohio. So Brian Pillman, we're gonna finish this thing once and for all, and I'm gonna beat you like a drum, drive you like a nail, beat you from pillar to post, so all these dumb, half-baked Canadians can die when you die in the ring. No, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I think he's upset. I think the guy is just a little bit upset. Here's Bulldog Bob Brown.
Can I ask you a question? You know, I just watched a brutal match, but you know, you're an awful lucky man. Because if Benoit wouldn't have stuck his nose in, and Biff Wellington and Ronnie Ritchie, God only knows what would have happened to you.
Well, Mr. Brown, I can see why you think so highly of this Lethal Larry, or Mr. T as he likes to call himself. I mean, you two have so much in common. You're both skinheads. Larry's got lethal breath. You got lethal body odor. And you both won a contest. He won a Mr. T look-alike contest, and you won the owners that look like their pets. Now, I made a tactical error tonight in my match. I went toe-to-toe with the man, a slugfest. I was a little excited, a little fired up. Had the people behind me. I made a mistake because I was wondering why he likes to be called Mr. T. I didn't know if that T stood for a thief or a truant, but it's obvious the guy's a physical giant and a mental midget. I mean, he's got one brain cell and it's sleeping. So, Cameron, you want a no-holds-barred match? Hey, fine. You're playing right into my hands because with your limited intellect and my wide repertoire of moves, baby, it's going to be all over. And when I
Chicago
come, that's
style?
exactly right. Chicago style, New York, whatever. Because I'm going to give you a little science lesson. What goes up must come down. And when this lean, mean flying machine comes off that top rope on top of you, it's all over. The match, your career, your existence. Because when I come down, you're going down approximately 6 feet under.
To the other
I'll
side
send him flowers.
and send Pillman back through. Send him what?
I'll send the weasel flowers.
What kind of flowers?
Stinkweeds, bro. Well, they're a prairie flower. They're a prairie flower. You ought to know that coming from Winnipeg. Isn't that where they come from?
I have no idea. I would have sent him roses myself.
Muck and Singh going to work on Davy Boy. He's also doing a play-by-play in the middle of the ring. Yelling things like he wants to be a champion. Come on, superstar. Etc., etc. All of it sarcasm. And I might just note for Mr. Singh that the match is not over.
Regardless who wins. I've already picked Mucka Singh to win, but regardless who wins, I'm looking forward to seeing Don Morocco. I hear he's in tremendous shape. Been spending time on Hawaii Beach, all blacked out, beautiful tan. And I'll tell you, he's going to hit this area. And I'll tell you, I still say it'll be Mucka Singh against Don the Rock Morocco. And then I'm going to go out and predict that Mucka Singh will regain the championship. But let me remind you one thing. It'll be a tough, tough match. And not only that, Harley Race will be here next week to watch the match. And you know what Harley Race wants. 7 times world champion, 1-time North American champion. He wants this belt too.
Yeah, there's going to be great competition.
Oh, high-flying Eddie Watts. Oh, wait till you see this kid. He flies through the air like an
With
airplane.
the greatest of ease.
You're right, Ed.
Like a flying young man on a
betcha.
flying trapeze. I thought so. Watch this. Here comes the crunch. He caught him high in the shoulder. Cover 1, 2. He kicked out of it just in time. Not too many guys survived the Karachi crunch. But at the moment, Davy Boy has done so. Can he survive a 380-pound splash? He's taken too much time. He got him anyhow. 1, 2. And again, he can't put him away. He's getting a little frustrated.
It should have been a 3 count.
It was not a 3 count.
Bias hard.
It was not biased. It was not a 3 count. Here's Davy Boy. Comes. Can he pull him? Oh, no. 1, 2. He got him! He got him! Davy Boy got him! How about that?
You know, let me remind you,
Cry your eyes out! Well, I don't need to tell you that we look forward to next week. It's going to be Davy Boy Smith going against Don Morocco, and a great supporting card of that, I'm sure. So we'll look forward to seeing you next time. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of TSN Wrestling. Bye-bye now. Don the Rock Morocco out of Hawaii. Davy Boy Smith of England, the challenger for Morocco's belt. Look out. A last gasp effort there by Davy Boy Smith, but he's not out of it.